And you should see when we go live. So I'm just.
There we are. We are.
Okay, I think we are live. Okay, so how you doing today, Fritz?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. To everybody out there, I'm of course Raven. I'm an associate of Fritz, and I just wanted to ask you how your week was going, and you know I know it's the holiday, so it's a lot of things going on, in the world and end of the year things. So how's everything been going with you this week?
I've been having a pretty good week. Um, I've had a let's put it this way. As of I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was in a training, one of the most incredible Zoom trainings I've been in. I mean, over 40,000 people around the world on this Zoom, just showing being around like-minded people trying to better their life. So it was just phenomenal. It was from about 8 a.m. Well, that's Pacific time, so about 11 a.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. So it's 12 hour a day, and I felt like I was doing something because I was glued to my computer.
Yeah.
I was just learning all this stuff. And then I found out there were some people in different parts of the world that were actually my 12 hours was there 1 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Mm.
That's to show you like how bad some people want to change their situation, change their life. And we got a chance to learn from a bunch of people that all are making in excess of $1 million a year. Now imagine that, and all these people talk about what it is in the mindset that you have to just make your situation better. And what I
Mm.
found with all of these people, the common thing that they had in common, it wasn't all the traditional things that you would think of, all the stuff that you learn in school. And the common thing that they have is just their drive and their belief and their ability to ignore the noise out there. And when I say noise is the fact that, and I know there's a lot of people that are probably watching this that are trying to figure out, how do I get the people in my life to support me when I'm doing something that they don't understand? For example, if you're starting a business, how do you
Yeah.
to understand that you want to start a business when they don't know? I remember when I was younger, one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to open a car wash. And a lot of my family members and friends like, man, why do you want to open a car wash? That's not going to work. And at the time, I wasn't smart enough to say, wait, you opened one and it didn't work. How did it go? I didn't know to ask that. And what they were doing is they were trying to protect me. They weren't being negative per se. It's just for them, they thought to themselves, car wash, Fritz is going to make this expense. What if it doesn't work? He's going to lose this money. So let me try to talk him out of it so he don't lose money. And so it was out of protection that they were negative, not because they were hating. And
Right.
sometimes the people that love you are giving you advice because they want to protect you, not because of what you're about to embark on is bad. It's just that to them it's foreign and they don't know. So the only thing they could do is tell you why not to do it so they could protect you.
Exactly. Exactly. I completely understand because even about the noise that you're saying, with the business that I had, it was the job security, because I have children as well. So it's like, whoa, you're gonna do this and not this, because they don't know the path. They don't know the path. So it's like you said, it's just out of trying to protect you. But I mean, you still have to continue to grow. You still have to continue to learn. And I feel like I stopped learning, because I was getting too comfortable, but I wanted more. And so I had to make that transition. So I completely understand. I mean, now it's more respected because I've been doing it for a while. So I've been having my business, or it's been going. I'm not gonna say a while, but it's been consistent, and I see results, and customers are happy. So now they see that and they're like, whoa, she really did it. She's really doing it. And so now it's more so, oh well, do you need a little? Now it's an offering hand as
Yeah.
far as even with my kids. Oh, do you need extra time to do this? Or I can, some. just little things like that. But I definitely went through that, and I just told myself, I'm not about to listen to nobody. Nobody can live my life but me. So that's exactly how I muted the noise. Like, you can say what you want to say, you've done with your life or what you wanted to do with your life, where you're at in your life. But like what I'm learning now, whatever you do today is going to make up how your future is going to look. And that's that's it.
Exactly. And you know what? It's funny because that's one of the things I tell people about this all the time. I say, you know what? Two people care about your bills, you and the people you owe. All those people that have advice for you, when it comes down to paying that bill, they're going to be like, well, I don't know how you got yourself in that situation.
Right.
We got ourselves there by listening to them in the first place.
Right.
So, when you talked about fear and the job security, my business partner that I just spent the day with yesterday, and we're going to talk about what I did yesterday with our toy drive. He used to be a postal, he worked at a post office. He was a mail carrier.
I did too.
And he decided to jump out and leave his job to start doing our business full time.
Yeah.
The time he started making more money, he was making more money with this than he did the whole year with the post office.
Yes.
What he made at the post office his first year with our company. And still his family members was like, well, man, are you gonna leave that government job? I mean, they meant well.
Yeah. But they don't know better. Yeah.
Like right now, he gives more every year with his nonprofit that we worked with yesterday.
Wow.
They make at the post office for entire. He gives that more.
Mm.
Then people in his family is like, well, you know, you do have job security, so you might want to hold on. Are you sure? I was like, man, I've been doing this for there was like 3 consecutive years when he tripled what he made with the post office. And people was like, well, you know, a lot of people are trying to get these government job, and I can't believe you let that one go.
But
so,
you know,
those kind of things.
But you know what, Fritz, I seen in a group, a business networking group that I'm in, and somebody was like, I'm so scared to take, I mean, if I wish I would have had it put up, but he was like, I'm so scared to take a leap. Like, I really want to leave the job that I have right now and just do my business full time. But, you know, how am I going to pay? Like, how does the insurance work? And, like, you know, I won't have any insurance. And I'm like, listen, like, I had to do the same thing. And it's not that all you have to do is call and get information and shop around. I mean, you don't really see it because it's kind of already coming out of your check being, you know, that you're getting paid from somebody. But if you go and you look it up, it is not that much. Like, I mean, and I have 2, like, it's coverage for me and my kids. You know, I have 2. So, I mean, it's a good deal, you know, and then the dental. So it's like, those are I think those little, like I said, those little job security people, they get a little scared. And then people don't really know how to move around their, you know, 401k money, and, you know, try to not let it be in one place, but try to, you know, look into if you don't even know how to do stocks, you know, you can always hire somebody who's more knowledgeable about it. You know, where can I start spreading my money and putting seeds everywhere else instead of just having that one pot, and they're saying, no, this 401k is going to work for you.
Yeah, but
you know,
you got to understand, it's not these people, it's not their fault. We feel
yeah,
from kindergarten to I'm not even going to go to high school. From kindergarten to college, I don't care what degree you have, they're training you on how to work for somebody else.
Exactly.
I never took a class that said Entrepreneurial 101. I never took a class that said how to recognize an opportunity and place yourself in front of it. I never taught a class that talked about finance. None of those things are taught to you in school. Therefore, for us to talk to somebody and say, no, I know you didn't learn this. I know you've had all these thousands of hours of conditioning that you're going to have to rely on somebody else to take care of that stuff for you. Yeah. I take care of it yourself. And it's scary to people because we haven't been conditioned that way. And yeah. Sometimes it's so difficult for someone to say, well, I don't know. I'm a hard worker, but I'm afraid that if I work hard for myself, I'm not going to get paid. Well, I don't know anyone that owns a business that work as hard for their business that they used to work for their boss that is not making money. Now, just so everybody don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't know anybody that own a business that hasn't gone out of business, because there's a lot of different things in businesses that happen. I have friends that were in business because they didn't want to pay an accountant to do the right things for them. They didn't want to pay the lawyer to look out and stuff. They didn't want to pay some people to do the extra stuff. They ended up failing the business because they made mistakes. But all they had to do is cut that check to the accountant, and the accountant would have caught that cash app mistake. If they had a lawyer review the paperwork, the lawyer would have said, well, don't sign this thing, and you would have never wasted. So I'm saying that not everybody, but if you work as hard for yourself as you work for everybody else, then you get paid. Now, unfortunately, for most people, I know a lot of people that get fired from many jobs. So if you get fired at somebody else's job, you may not be ready to go. You have to fire yourself every day because
Yeah.
you have to work with you first. Like when your boss is begging you not to go get another job, that's when you probably should go work for yourself. But if you're always getting fired, stay with your job. I'm sorry, I don't know if you're ready because
Yeah, you got to condition yourself first. If you can't show up every day to work for somebody else, then you just got all this time at home. You just all of a sudden go home and, oh, I'm going to have my own business. What are you oh, I need to be up and doing something. No, you're probably going to be, sleep
yeah,
or something. But I would definitely, anybody who's watching this live, I would definitely advise to join like-minded people who are in, or join business groups. Just join business groups. There's always local business groups online, Facebook groups. Follow people on Instagram. Anybody who you follow, that is definitely, like, you don't have to follow all these, you know, Instagram models or the rapper. If you're not getting value out of it, just unfollow them. Strictly follow people who you're getting something out of every day. So I would just suggest people just go, and if you don't know anything, if you don't know anybody who's in business, you were the first person in your family who is trying to do this. You need to go and join in these business groups, all on Facebook, and make sure you start to interact, because that is how you can ask any questions in the group too. Everybody's asking the same thing because nobody really knows, you know, and then you also have people who have had their businesses for a while, and they'll be the ones to answer your questions or tag somebody who can answer it for you. So the internet is very, very powerful. We do need to start using it correctly, and you know,
yeah,
moving forward.
you're 100% right. Even as I alluded to earlier on this call, I've been lucky to being open to being around people that made me uncomfortable.
Right.
And one of the things I read and I spoke about on one of the lives I did recently is if you're the smartest person in your group, you need to get a better group. If you have the most money in your group, you need to get a better group because you're not growing.
Yeah.
And not only have I been blessed to find people like that, but I've been open enough to where I've accepted the advice. I know I talk to people all the time and they say, no, I'm coachable. Man, listen, you know what? If you tell me something to do, I'll do it. No, but the thing about being coachable is it's not about hearing something to do and doing it. Coachability is when you hear something that goes against everything that you hear and you still accept to do it because you trust that coach. And I've been in a position where I've done that. So yesterday I spent the day, myself and one of my business partners, Mike Humes, we drove down to Petersburg, Virginia, which is about 2 hours south of where we live out here in DC. We have this nonprofit, and the nonprofit is really just Michael Humes and his business partner, Darnell Self, where as they've been in the business, they've always wanted to help out people. And they started this nonprofit. And to be honest with you, most of the money from this nonprofit is coming from them. The nonprofit is just the two of them. Like they employees, no nothing. That's why if you look at my live yesterday, it was just us. A lot of the people you saw there was the church that we went to support with the toys. So all those people were at the church, but the nonprofit that brought the toys down, it's us. These guys have been supporting villages in Haiti, the Dominican Republic. There's families in the DC area that they feed every year, and those people don't even know their name. And these guys grew up locally in the Washington D.C. area. Mike Humes grew up in Southeast D.C., still goes to the church where his mom goes to church, and give out toys every year to the kids in that area because when he grew up, he remembered that community not having any toys for Christmas. Still do that stuff. So imagine they took that leap of faith and jumped out there and started working on them. But it's not just about the money that you make. It's who can you help? how can you do more for others? So it's one thing to have your bills covered, and that's great. And if that's your goal, there's nothing wrong with that. But
Mhm.
imagine when you get to a point where not only are you able to take care of all your stuff, and then now you can take care of your family stuff. And
Yeah,
position where you're taking care of people that don't even know who you are, you're not doing it for the recognition. You're just doing it because it makes you feel good to help.
absolutely. I agree. I agree. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that actually see what you're doing and, you know, they want to do more, but they're not necessarily in a good position. So what advice would you give to those people out there where they can see themselves possibly doing, you know, a toy drive, a nonprofit next year in 2021?
You know what? That's a great question. One of my business partners always said, you know what? A sinking ship never calls out SOS to another sinking ship. You
Right.
have to be in a position to help. And in order, if you're that person and you want to do that, the first thing I would recommend that you do is just like you mentioned earlier, Raven. You need to surround yourself with people that have the solutions that you're looking for, not the problems.
Yeah.
So whether it is, like you said, joining a Facebook group and surrounding yourself with people that have that. Some of my mentors that I talk about are people I've never met. Jim Rohn, I've listened to his tapes over and over again. I listened to his book, John C. Maxwell. Not until recently have I met him at conferences, but before that, for years, that was one of my mentors. I soak all these people's principles through books that I was reading because I wanted to think like the wealthy or all the self-made millionaires, and how did they do it? How did they go from nothing to something? What were they doing? And I started aligning myself and realizing, you know what? Some of these people, all they did is they started um, trying to live beneath the income that they made, so they got enough money to save. But it's not about just saving money. They always took some of that money that they saved and invested it in themselves, whether it was with reading books, going to seminars, doing all these other things that made them better so that they could grow themselves. Therefore, they could attract the success that they were looking for so that now they could do more.
Okay. And
Um,
I want to add real quick before you go on, but some people are, oh, this was my friend in high school, and um, you know, I can't unfollow them, or I've been down with I've been down with them since elementary. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But if they're not giving, positive input in your life, it's like, okay, so are you gonna still keep hanging on to this person because, oh, they were your friend back in, elementary? I see a lot of that, you know, and you may actually have outgrown them, but you still wanna, no, that's my homie, but he's not. I mean, all he probably doing is, I mean, as far as my age group, all you probably doing is, going to work every day and, probably smoking, and then, you know, not just real, it's no real um strategy, or, that they're trying to do. So a lot of people, they don't know how to cut the ties. They don't know how to
and
move forward without that.
the way that we do that is understanding and being okay with doing it. So it's funny you brought that up. I remember a few years back, I traveled back to the area where I grew up because I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, on Flatbush and East 38 and stuff like that. So I went back, but luckily for me, I had a cousin who convinced me to move to Boston, and I moved to Boston, joined the Coast Guard, then got stationed in California, then got stationed in Maryland and stuff. So I traveled and met different people. And then when I went back, and some of these guys were still doing the same thing, and some of
Mm,
they were doing would now just wasn't conducive to the life that I was living. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So they was like, Fritz, you change. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You don't want to change. You don't want to grow either.
Yeah. So like, so we live in a world where when someone tell us we change, we're trying to convince them that we didn't change. And so when my friend was like, yeah, you changed. And I'm like, I'm surprised you didn't. And at the time I remember, so this was about maybe 12 years ago. And I didn't have kids. And all those guys that were still doing the same stuff that we used to do back in the days, some of them were fathers, some of them had multiple kids. And I was like, bro, you should have changed. Like, you're a dad now.
Yeah.
You should be living an example for your kids. Like, so you mad at me that I'm changing. Like, you should be mad at yourself for not changing because your whole situation changed. Now,
That's what it is. That's what's coming out. He's mad at himself because he didn't change, but you grew. And so that's that ignorance right there that they don't even know that they're doing it, but they are. But like you said, I mean, we can't really, be mad at them. That's why you gotta live your life. We only get one life. And you can't, I'm never comfortable. I gotta keep moving up. I gotta keep going.
Yeah, so with what you were saying, listen, if anybody is watching this and you're one of those people that Raven's talking about, that you're like, what, listen, 2021 is got to be different than 2020 was. I see those things. I see people doing things out there, even though the economy, nothing matters, and they're still out there. They're trying to help people. I want to be able to do that. And what Raven said, it's like, make sure you align yourself with other people that are going places. Listen, if you're serious about changing your life, whether it's, you want to make some extra money here so you could put some on the side, start paying your bills so that you could reach out to me, whether you go to my Instagram, my Facebook, you go in there, you Google Fritz, Fitzgerald St. Tom. Listen, all my information come up. Send me a DM, send me an email, give me a call. So if you're somebody I want to make a change or a difference in other people's life, let me know. If you're somebody in the military that's getting ready to get out and say, listen, what should I know right now? Because so many things I'm learning right now. I wish I knew before I got out. I would have put myself in a better position. Reach out to me right now. If you're somebody that said, listen, I wish I had known about my credit and what it was to me. How do I fix it? Or maybe it's not bad, or even if it's bad. Listen, I've learned a bunch of stuff about that stuff over the past couple of years that have helped me. I can maybe help you. Reach out to me. Listen, if you want to change, listen, there are things out there. We can point you in the right direction, whether it's working with me personally or just setting up a game plan. I can help you. Reach out to me, hit me up, and we can help you with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit up Fritz Santom. He got it all for you. And we'll just keep you guys updated on when we'll, have these types of lives. Of course, Fritz is always going live, so make sure you guys watch those because he's always dropping value, something you can always use. Also tag somebody. If it's not even you and you're watching, tag the person that you thought about when you were watching it under this post. And we would love if you share it, comment and like, it gets the word out there, to more people. The more you guys engage with it. So I think that's it for today. So just keep watching out for updates, and Fritz will keep dropping the knowledge for you.
Awesome. It was a pleasure talking to you, Raven.
Absolutely.
On to the next slide.
Right. See you later.